For us. Okay. So our virtual classroom agenda, all of you have this in your email. I shared it with all of you. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on mute for just a second because there's a little bit of background noise still going on. So maybe while somebody's still kind of closing their door or whatever, it'll just be a little quieter this way. Okay. Our goals for book club this entire time have been to communicate with each other, to collaborate, to think critically, and to use creativity. Every time you do one of your book club jobs, you've done a pretty good job of that, and you guys have been my. I know I probably shouldn't tell you this, but you've been my favorite book club of this second round. You've been the most fun, and so you're going to really enjoy this project, our final project that I'm going to go over with you today. But, and you'll notice I'm kind of scrolling down here, and here it is. Before I show you what our final project is, we're going to go ahead and present our jobs from this last week. Okay, so I'm here on the book club site, and I just went ahead and went to our schedule for today. And let me just point something out about our schedule. Today is the 11th. You'll notice that 1 week from today would be the 18th, but we do not have a book club VC on February 18th because that is President's Day. So you have the day off of school next Monday. So in other words, that's kind of why we did that extra book club VC last week, so that we'd be able to finish the book on time for our final project. And our final project is going to be on the 25th of February, which is 2 weeks from now. So you'll notice on that last day that nobody has a book club job. You're all going to be doing the final project instead. Okay? And obviously, between now, which is the 11th, and the 25th, you're going to finish reading the book and have your final project ready for that day. Okay, give me a thumbs up or a happy face in the chat if that makes sense with the schedule so far. Okay, good. Just have to kind of point out the schedule and let you guys know what happened to the 18th, which would have been right here, but it's President's Day. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into today. And I always like to start with our summarizer. So I've turned your microphones back on. Jeremy, are you ready to share a little summary with us? Okay, Jeremy, would you like to be the presenter or okay, so I'm going to make him the presenter so that we can see Jeremy's screen. Okay, so it's going to show Jeremy's summary. Okay, there's his screen. And it sounds like somebody has some people in the background talking, so if you can go to a quiet place and close your door, that'd be awesome. Wow, this is fantastic. All right, Jeremy, whenever you're ready, go ahead and start reading your summary.
Yeah. Okay, so in chapter 12, Kenny, Byron, and their little sister Joey are in Birmingham, finally at their grandma Sands' house. Kenny's not happy with the heat and complains how it makes him seem tired and have no energy. He's getting to know the neighbor, Mr. Robert, and his mama and grandma are catching up on things that have happened since they left.
Good.
There is one part where Kenny thought it was funny to see his grandma kind of scold his mom for talking about Mr. Robert and making an assumption that they were more than friends. In
Okay.
chapter 13, huh?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just agreeing. Yep, that's right.
In chapter 13, Kenny, Vi, and Joey are going to the lake. As they are leaving Grandma Sands, it is warning is Grandma Sand is warning to stay off Collar's Landing because of a boy drowning in a whirlpool that they mistake for something called a whirlpool that Vi says is Winnie the Pooh's evil twin.
Yep.
They come to they come to the sign in the road that points to public swimming in one direction and a warning sign to not trespass on Joe Collier's pub land. Byron and Joey go to the public pool, but Kenny decided to go to Collier's Landing, where he sees another sign about 6 people drowning. Kenny ignores the warning signs and goes into the water to grab fish. Then he sees a turtle and tries to go after it, but the turtle dives in deeper water. He tries to start to head back to shore, but the rocks are slipping away from under his feet. Before he knows he is slipping under water where he thinks he sees and feels something grab him that he thinks is the woo pool. Poo.
Right, the evil twin.
He begins he begins thinking he is dead because he is seeing his sister who looks like an angel now. Angel now. Then all of a sudden Bai is grabbing him and trying to pull him up. It takes a couple of tries, but he does get Kenny out of the water where he is dangled by his ankles and throws up water and other things. When Kenny is done getting sick, Vi grabs him and hugs him tight. Kenny is trying to make him quit.
Okay, no, that was very good. That was the most important part of chapters 12 and 13 where what do you think made Kenny disobey the orders and go onto the land where he wasn't supposed to go?
I
He was
don't know. It's just he didn't really agree with it.
Yeah, he was just curious, I think, and the whole misunderstanding about whirlpool versus wool poo and and the whole story about there being an evil twin and that kind of thing of Winnie the Pooh. I mean, maybe he was just kind of curious, but what was different about Byron in this chapter?
He was caring.
Yes, there you go. It seems like for once Byron wasn't as mean as he usually is, and he was actually caring. So he showed that he had a very different side to him. Jeremy, that was a fantastic summary, probably the best I've seen all morning. So thank you. Good work. All right. Do I have any just volunteers who would like to go next?
Thank you.
I can go next.
Oh, I'm paused.
Okay. Is that Kaylee?
Yes.
All
Stop.
right. Yes, Kaylee S. And you are the illustrator. Do you want me to make you the presenter or do you just want to hold it up to your screen?
Please make me the presenter.
Okay. All right. So we're going to be looking at Kaylee's screen. I love your group, by the way. You guys always come prepared. It just makes me happy. It's a nice way to end the morning.
Do you see it?
I do. Go ahead and explain it for us.
Well, this is a picture of the whirlpool that Kenny was in, and there's a bunch of signs saying like don't come and don't swim and stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And he didn't follow instructions and he ignored them. Um, so why did you choose this part?
I think the whirlpool was important in the book because it made the chapter interesting and it taught Kenny a lesson to follow instructions and not ignore them.
Yeah, it taught him a lesson, and then I think it led to a different side of Byron. It led to Byron being a much nicer person than we thought he was for most of the book. So yes, good work, Kaylee. Awesome. Okay, so we have Ashley is also an illustrator, and she shared her illustration with me. So I'm going to pull up Ashley's while we're kind of looking at illustrations. Okay. So, Ashley, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and explain your. Oh, whoops, I have to make myself the presenter again. Sorry. Give me just a second. You're still looking at Kaylee's screen. Sorry. Okay. Now you should be able to see my screen. Okay, Ashley, go ahead and describe your picture. Pull it into the.
So I didn't really pick a part that was important or anything. I picked a part that was kind of funny to me. So I thought it was funny how every time their grandma laughed, they would hide behind someone or something. So I drew that
Yeah. Why would they hide behind something or someone?
because their grandma's laugh sounded like the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz laugh.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like you kind of drew her looking like a witch here. Yeah, you know what though, Kaylee? Just because it's a funny part and maybe isn't like the main idea of the book or anything doesn't mean that it's not important. And it was something that stuck out to you, and it has something to do with character development and the type of characters that we had in the book. So I still think it was a good part to choose. All right. Oops. I wanted to go back to my schedule. Now, let's see, we have our illustrations are done. I kind of like to go into the discussion questions. Kaylee P., are you there? Kaylee P. Hmm. Kaylee might have stepped away. So, Christian, her brother, was.
Oh, no, I'm here.
You're there? Okay. Do you have your discussion questions?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So these discussion questions are for everybody, and all of your microphones are on, so you can respond that way. And of course, you can respond in the chat as well. So, what is your first discussion question?
Why did why didn't Mama like all the changes in Grandma San's house?
Okay, so why didn't Mama like the changes in the grandma's house? What do you guys think? Do you think maybe Mama just wanted things to stay the same and seeing the changes upset her for some reason?
She probably wasn't used to it too.
Yeah, she wasn't used to it. That's probably the best answer. She just wasn't used to it, and she was kind of shocked when she saw it. Good. Okay, what's your second question, Kaylee?
Do you
Uh-oh, you kind of cut out there. All I heard was "do you?"
Do you?
do you think that the whirlpool
Sorry, what was that?
Uh-oh. Kaylee, it sounds like you're cutting out quite a bit, so maybe you could type your discussion questions into the chat and then I'll read them for you. Because we're getting like just one or two words of what you're saying. So while Kaylee is typing those questions into the chat, we'll move on. And I know that Jordan returned her book, so she was unable to do her job this time, and that's totally fine because she's always on top of it. So I'm going to let that go. And we can move into the word wizard job. Christian, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Christian, do you have a couple words that you'd like to share with us that you found interesting or hard or new?
Yeah, just a second, let me get it up.
Okay, so he's getting it out. And it looks like after that, we will be ready to get into our final project. Okay, so Christian is getting out his words, and Kaylee just typed another discussion question. Do you think the wool pool is real or imaginary? So this question's for everyone.
Imaginary.
It's imaginary. Okay. I think the wool poo, the WOOL and then POOH is imaginary. And the whole story was made up about the evil twin of Winnie the Pooh. Definitely. Okay. Kaylee, do you have another question?
I agree.
Yeah, I'm typing it right now.
Okay, she's typing it. All right.
Oh wait, I don't seem like I'm cutting out anymore. Should I just say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
My third question is why did Kenny go to Collier's Landing when Grandma Sands told him to stay away and when he saw the
Huh. That was a little hard to understand. It sounded kind of jumbled, so I think typing it still might be the better solution.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cutting out at your house for some reason really badly. So, Christian, are you there? Do you have a word or two you'd like to share with us?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead, Christian.
My first word is desire. I found it on page 163 and I picked it because it's interesting. And it
Okay,
means a strong feeling of wanting to have something.
yeah, and what was going on that page? What did they desire?
They, miss the dog and the guy who was living at Grandma Sand's house lost the desire to go hunting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they lost the desire to go hunting. Good. What other words did you find?
My second word is bucks. I found it on page 162 and I picked it because it's new. And it's a male of any antlered animal.
Oh, yeah. Okay, how do you spell it, Christian?
Bucks.
Bucks. So yes, when you see, and I just typed it into the chat, when you see the word bucks, that means the male version of an animal. That's good.
And then my third word is peons, and I found it on page 163, and I picked it because it's new, and it's a Spanish American day laborer or unskilled farm worker.
Oh, wow, I've never even heard that word. How do you spell it, Christian? I'm going to type it into the chat.
Peons.
Peons. Wow. Wow, that's a really good word. Okay, read the definition one more time.
A Spanish American day laborer or unskilled farm worker.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they definitely had the unskilled workers kind of doing some of that farm work. Okay, good. Christian,
And my
okay, go ahead.
fourth word is jive squares, and I found it on page 171, and I picked it because it was funny, but I couldn't find a definition.
Okay, how do you spell it?
Givesquares.
Ares. Huh. I've never heard that word either. So that might just be one of those slang type of words that they used in the South back in that day and age. Because I'm not aware of that one either. But Kaylee has been able to type our third discussion question in. So this question is for everyone. Why did Kenny go to Collier's Landing when Grandma Sands told him to stay away and he saw all of the warning signs? Bless you.
Because he thought Byron was gonna like gonna pop out and scare him and stuff.
Okay,
So
so he
he
thought,
still went.
yeah, so he
And then
decided he was going to be brave, I guess.
yeah, and then the water was really clear, he said, and it was pretty, and he wanted to go in it and see what it would feel like to swim in it.
Right. So he wasn't afraid and he thought, well, this water's clear, so I don't know what these warning signs are all about. I'm not going to take it very seriously. And then turns out he should have taken it seriously. But all right, guys, those were great questions. I am really super, super excited to tell you guys about your final project. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up if your webcam is on, or type a happy face into the chat if you're ready to learn about it. All right, Jack, do you have a question?
Well, I came up with connections.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. I forgot. Yes. I skipped over you. Jack, go ahead and make some connections for us.
That's funny. Okay, my first connection is I connected it with myself. Um, Last year, my brother, my mom, and my grandma went on to a road trip to Omaha for a baseball tournament,
Yeah.
and I connected that because they're taking pretty much a road trip to Birmingham.
Right, and it was a really long trip. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's did you guys stop or did you drive straight through like this family did?
Well, I'm pretty sure they drew. It wasn't. I wasn't there, but I knew they stopped because they got stuck in a tornado.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you guys made the connection because you both had you ran into some trouble along the trip. So
Yeah.
very good. Any other connections for us?
Well, I couldn't really find many connections, so I found another book by Christopher Paul Curtis. He
Mm-hmm.
wrote he wrote the book called Bud Not Buddy.
Yes, Bud Not Buddy. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he published it, and I have it right here.
Yeah, that'll be great. So you made a connection, a text to text connection. That's awesome. What reminded you of this book?
Well, I, I just I just looked up other books written by him, and I found a lot of them, and this one I knew of.
Perfect. Yeah,
So
so you just kind of made a connection to the same author. That's good.
yep. Uh-huh.
Perfect. All right. Okay, guys, so we are going to go and switch gears now. Unless, do you have another connection or were those your two for today?
Those are my two for today.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right, I'm going to mute you for right now. And I'm muting everybody just to eliminate as much background noise as I can. Hopefully, because I'm getting some messages in the chat that it sounds like it's cutting up a little bit. So hopefully that will help. Okay. On our agenda, you will see our book club final project, which is due 2 weeks from today. You do not have a VC next week. So within 2 weeks, you need to finish reading the book and then finish your book club final project by February 25th. So let's go ahead and go to it. And it's really fun. You guys are going to like this. Okay, book club final project. Notice the 4 C's. We are going to be communicating, collaborating, thinking creatively, and critical thinking. Your presentations will be due on February 25th during your book club virtual classroom. If you do not send it to me ahead of time or come that day and present your project, you will receive a 0, and you don't want that. You have less work in the next couple weeks so that you will have time to do this project. The rubric is how you're going to be graded. I'm going to come back to this at the very end. So I'll just come back to the rubric and tell you how to score yourself. But we're going to go ahead and go to step 1. Okay. Step 1 is to come today. Yay! Which, if you're here, you're here. Great. We're going to walk through all of the steps. How many people have heard of Edmodo? You can give me a thumbs up or, yeah, okay. So Edmodo is kind of like a Facebook for education. Sorry, I'm blowing my nose. There we go. So Edmodo is like a Facebook for education where you guys can all collaborate together. It's really kind of fun. And I have created an Edmodo group for you guys. And you need to know your code. So there's your code. But I want to show you how to get to it. I linked it right here so you can click on it right from the book club thing. Or on your homeroom page, notice that box in that top left-hand corner. If you just click on that link right there that says Edmodo, it'll take you right to it. It will say you are requesting to join book clubs. You have to have the code. So here is your code. 94FX LL. Okay, so there's the code. And I'm not going to delete this. It's just going to be there for you forever. So let me show you what it looks like once you get in. So once you type in your code and you're in the group, this is what you're going to see. Okay, notice I have linked the project here again. Oops, looks like I typed a Y instead of a T. I'll go back and fix that. So if you lose the project, it's here for you. See how it's kind of like Facebook. I'm typing messages, and you guys can go and type messages too. So you type your note here, so you could type things to each other. Give me a thumbs up so far if you are good with just logging into Edmodo and what it's going to look like. Okay, it's pretty easy. Good. So all you have to do is go up to this little portion right here that says folders. So you're going to click on folders. And notice I have different books here, and you're, of course, going to be working with your book, The Watsons Go to Birmingham. So this is a two-step project. Our first step is going to be looking at all of these different images for the book. And then the second step is going to be making a movie. And we're not there yet, so right now we're just looking at images. So let's click on it. And notice I have uploaded a ton of images already. So images from the book, images that relate to the book, and images of like the, let's find the book cover. I think I have a book cover image as well. Now, anybody want to guess where I found all of these different images? It's very simple. I just went, yes, Christian, the internet. I went to Google, and then I typed in, let's just say that I'm looking at this list, or this list of all of these images, and I think that I left something out. When you want to retell the story, maybe I should have had a better picture of the brown bomber. So let's just say you want to go find a picture to add. So you will just type it into Google and then go to images right here. And then you'll have a bunch of images come up, and oh wow, I kind of like this one. So I'm going to say that I want to use this image and that I'm going to add it to our list. So I just dragged and dropped it to my desktop. Okay, so then back in Edmodo, I need to add this image. So you go up to add to folder where it says file, click on it, upload, and then remember I dragged it to my desktop, so I'm going to find it. Here it is. Here's the picture that I think I need to add. So I'm just going to click add, and notice it just showed up in the list. Okay, so give me a thumbs up if that makes sense to you so far, like finding images and adding them to the folder. Okay, Jack is good, or a happy face. Awesome. Because you'll notice, I mean, I gave you like 10 images to choose from, but maybe there's something that you think would be more important to tell the story that I haven't put in there. And that's totally fine. Okay, so now that we've logged onto Edmodo and we've searched through the folder for your book and you're looking at images, and it's actually, you're going to choose about 5 to 7 that you would like to use in your movie, okay? Also, research other images and add them to the folder like we just did. And then you're going to drag the images that you want to use to your desktop. You're going to be retelling the story of the book and trying to get your peers, people your age, to read the book. Okay? So I'm going to go back to it, and I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to pretend that together, instead of the Watsons Go to Birmingham, we all read the story Cinderella. So you're going to notice a ton of Cinderella pictures. And I'm just going to look through them, and I'm going to pretend that I added a couple. I added all the images I want. Oh, Okay, so let's look at this one. All right, I'll add this one to my movie. And notice how I just dragged all of the Cinderella pictures that I want to use to my desktop. So there they are. They're ready for me to make a movie. Okay, so now we're going to be ready for step 2. Step 2 is to go into Animoto. How many people have heard of Animoto? Good. All right, so at least a couple people. It's a website that's super easy to use and you get to make free movies, okay? So we're going to go to Animoto and we're going to make a free movie. I'm going to make the Cinderella movie. You guys are of course going to make the Watsons Go to Birmingham type of movie. Okay, so you're going to create a free account, which is really simple. And then time to create a movie. So notice you have a style to choose from, tons of different styles. So scroll down until you find one that you think works for you and your movie. Now, since I'm doing Cinderella, I notice right away roses and hearts kind of make sense to me for Cinderella. So I'm just going to choose this one. And then it's going to come up and it's going to say, do I want to purchase it or do I want to make the 30-second free version? You're just going to do the 30-second free version. So click there. Okay. Then look how easy it is. All that we have to do is change our style. Well, I just chose the roses, so I'm happy with that. Next step is to choose music. You can upload your own music as long as it's appropriate. And I think as mostly 6th graders, you should know what appropriate music is. Or you can choose any of them that they give you to choose from. So let's just, Cinderella, I went to Love and Romance. Let's listen to a couple of these. All right, that reminds me of Cinderella. I'm going to pretend I like that song and I'm going to add it. Okay, so I've already done step 1. That's my roses in the background. Step 2, I just chose my music. Step 3 is to add my pictures. So remember, I just had them all on my desktop. So I'm going to upload pictures. I'm going to choose from my desktop. I'm going to go down and find all of those Cinderella pictures. Doot. Okay. And those are the ones I'm going to put into my movie. Okay. Notice right here where my mouse is, it says that I am definitely using all 30 seconds. So I might actually have to delete one of these pictures because I only have 30 seconds for free. So let's just say I want to delete one. I could just click on it. Are you sure you want to delete this picture? Yes. And now look, I have a perfect 30 seconds, so this is great. All right, so now what you would do with these pictures is put them in order. So yeah, we can kind of move them around, make it tell the story the way you want it to tell the story. And then you can add a caption. So let's say, Cinderella is mistreated by her stepmother. Okay, so that's my first caption. Then maybe this second one, her step sisters were awful too. Okay. All right, and then you could just go all the way through her, fairy godmother made her into a princess. Okay, so you get the point. You can go all the way through, add captions, and then you can move them around the way that you want them to be. So now you can even add a text box if you want. Or this will come up, I'm going to make it come up at the very, very beginning. And you can move it around to wherever you want it to be. Oh, see, I've run out of space, so I'm going to have to delete one of my pictures so that I have enough space. Okay, so I want that to come up first, so I just moved it around. You can have something at the very end. You can have a text box in the middle. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. So now you're ready to preview your video. So it takes just a second. You'll have to give it a title. So of course I'm going to title mine Cinderella. And here we go. All right, so it's going to come up after it takes a second to generate. Then you're going to see my fantastic movie on Cinderella, whereas you guys are going to do the Watsons Go to Birmingham. Okay, almost ready. Each time I make a memory, then I try to make it with you. I take a picture and close one eye, and then it sticks like glue. All right, so that was fantastic. I made a short little 30-second video of Cinderella. So that was step 2. Now, step 3 is to be able to review the rubric and score yourself before you come and present it on February 25th. So let's go back to that rubric that I was talking about a minute ago. And it's on your book club site. So under assessments, because assessments are kind of like tests, you'll scroll down to the bottom and click on summative assessment, which means at the end. And here it is, book club project rubric. So click on it. And this is how you're going to be graded on your final project. Are you aware of your audience? Have you used appropriate vocabulary? Is your presentation the 30 seconds long? Did you use appropriate images from the book? Is your music or soundtrack, does it make sense with your images? So of course you want to fall all in the 4s because that's your highest scores, okay? So now I'm going to turn on your microphones and it's time for you to ask any questions. Any questions from anyone?
Well, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I tried to log into Edmodo.
Uh-huh.
Oh, however you say it.
Edmodo?
And it asks for a username and password.
Okay, so yep, when you log on to Edmodo, it's going to ask for, okay, well, for me it says I'm already a member. For you, it's going to want this code, okay? So you're going to have to know the code and then create your own little profile. Think of it like Facebook. You have to create your own little profile, and you're going to have to know this code.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Ashley, do you have any questions? No?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So if we forget, like what to do, will this be recorded?
Oh yeah, yep, I've definitely
Okay.
recorded this virtual classroom. And then I have sent you, and these are both in your emails, so you can look for it in your email. I don't know why it's not letting me click. Okay, the agenda for today with all of this stuff linked to it, and I've also sent this to you as well. So you have all of that in your email from me.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. This has been super fun. I cannot wait to see your videos, and I'm sure they're going to be better than my Cinderella video. But yeah. All right. Well, let's give each other a nice wave goodbye, and I will see you Thursday for math. All right. Bye. Happy Monday. Bye. Awesome.